Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Monday morning, and today is November the 27th, I believe. And anyway, I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope that some of you may have even continued to have maybe some Thanksgiving get-togethers with extended family and anyway. Glad that you were able to share and have time with family, over the weekend. And, now here it's Monday. God has given us a new day, a new week, a fresh start, with this week. And anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you're well rested and I hope that hopefully you're not sick. If you are, and we're praying that you get to feeling better. And anyway, this morning I want to share a devotional with you entitled Our Place of Safety. In Psalm chapter 91, verse 2, it says, "This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him." We've been talking about Moses and leading the Hebrew people, to try to free them from Egypt. And the plagues, that they had grown progressively worse. God's plague on the Nile River was a blow to everyone, but the Egyptians, they adapted and they got by. The frogs were a horrible nuisance too. But the third plague brought physical pain that seemed almost unbearable. Excuse me. In the third plague, God afflicted the Egyptians with gnats. Now, this was especially difficult because the Egyptians were fanatics about cleanliness, but they were covered with these insects. The gnats also penetrated their nostrils and their ears, which that would have been, very painful. But interestingly, while Pharaoh's magicians duplicated the Nile, turning to blood, and the plague of frogs, they couldn't duplicate this one. And this reminds us that although the devil has considerable power, there are limitations to it. We might think that that just as God is omnipotent, so is Satan. And just as God is omniscient, so is the devil. But that's not true. God knows everything. Satan has limited knowledge. God has all power. Satan, clearly, he has limited power. But even after these plagues, Pharaoh's heart continued to harden. And so God, he sent the fourth plague, which was an invasion of flies. Exodus chapter 8, verse 24, it says this, "And the Lord did just as he had said. A thick swarm of flies filled Pharaoh's palace and the houses of his officials." The whole land of Egypt was thrown into chaos by the flies. Now, meanwhile, God intervened in an amazing way for his people. From the fourth plague on, God protected the land of Goshen in Egypt, where the Israelites lived. While other people in Egypt, suffered through the plagues, God protected this area. Psalm chapter 91 gives us this promise. These are verses 7 and 8. It says, "Though 1,000 fall at your side, though 10,000 are dying around you, these evils will not touch you. Just open your eyes and see how the wicked are punished." These are wonderful and comforting words, but they are conditional. This psalm contains a series of conditional promises that are ours, if we do our part. God promises that he will protect us. He promises that his angels will be around us. But what do we need to do? Well, we must live in the shelter of the Most High, as verse 1 tells us. We must also make the Lord our refuge and the Most High our shelter, as verse 9 tells us. And when we do that, the promises of Psalm 91 are ours. God wants to be our hiding place. This means that God will protect the believer. What may happen to non-believers, as they reap the consequences of their sin, won't happen to believers, because you see, they are seeking to live godly lives. Now, does that mean Christians won't suffer? No, we're going to suffer. Does that mean that Christians won't die? No, we are going to die. But you see, what it does mean is that Christians, they won't die before their time. They will die when, their day has come, and not a second before. And when death comes, does come for Christians, God promises that, that they will be taken to be in the presence of heaven, to be in the presence of Jesus. God will protect us. He will protect us on earth until, our final day, whenever that may be. God has promised us that. He's promised to never forsake us and to be there for us, as we walk here on this earth. So I hope that encourages you here on this Monday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.